maybe we'll just start, and then we're going to do a meditation, just a short one anyway, so people can join after that if they want to. So we are going to do a short meditation, just 3 minutes, so it's nothing too taxing, and then we'll have a moment to get to know each other. So we'll just, if you're comfortable to, you can just come into, if you're already seated, that's fine. You don't have to sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair. And maybe just take a few breaths and just allow your body to relax, drop your shoulders if that's feasible for you right now, unless you're running around still. And I think we're all, most of us are in the same boat. I can hear my teenage son making noise outside, and Leela's got 3 children, young children, running around her house, and I'm sure some of you are in the same boat. So we can all just together just let go of worrying about what's happening in our homes, and just know that nothing has to be perfect, and actually everything is perfect just as it is in this moment. And from here, we'll just gently rub the palms together, and we'll draw the thumbs to our sternum if that feels okay for you. And I'm going to invite you to tune in using the mantra that we use to tune in Kundalini Yoga. Some of you will know this, and for some of you this will be new. And this mantra is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And it invites you to bow down to that divine teacher within you, to connect to your inner guide, your intuition, and just invite yourself to come into this beautifully perfect present moment. I'm going to repeat the mantra 3 times. You can join in or just allow the sound to wash over you. We take a long, deep breath in to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply. Just gather yourself for a moment. Drop into your stillness. And then gently exhale. We're going to do a short meditation that helps us to balance our emotions. Always helpful. And so what we're going to do is have the just have the fingers touching, so you can make like a pyramid with your hands, and just bring it down. You don't have to have it fully in prayer, but really make sure those fingers are touching, and then bring the thumb into your sternum. Hopefully you can see, so you can feel that connection. And I want you to feel the energy of your palm to palm, just feeling that energy there, and that thumb touching into the sternum there. And then just close your eyes down. Just take a moment. You might be able to feel some pulsing through your fingertips. And it might feel quite quick as we begin this process. You might start to feel more energy coming into the palms of the hands as you just become more aware of the sensations. Just allow these next just a few breaths just to connect to these sensations. Feel the connection of your right hand to your left hand. Notice what this means to you. Maybe you feel that one hand feels a little bit stronger than the other. Perhaps you can feel the energy moving now through palm to palm. And from this place, I would like to invite you to inhale through your nose in 4 equal parts until your lungs are full. So we just inhale. And then exhale, equal breath. Just continue in your own time with your own rate of breath. And just gently take a deep breath in. Suspend the breath and just squeeze your body. So squeeze tight, press the fingers closer together. Lift up through the root lock, a gentle lift on the ends, the sex organs. And exhale. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Suspend the breath. Squeeze it into your being. Press the palms together. awaken the energy at the base of your being. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath, squeeze, press, awaken. And as you exhale, just come back to an awareness of the sensation that you feel, palm to palm, fingertips to fingertips. Observe whether the mind feels more balanced. Centered. Perhaps you feel calm. And from this space, I invite you to take a gentle breath in. And as you exhale, just bring the hands onto your heart space. Just connecting to your higher self in this moment, that quiet voice within you. And just ask this voice what it is you're looking for. Ask this voice why you're here this evening, what it is you need to know. And just take it to thank your higher self whenever you've finished your beautiful little chat. And bring yourself back into space by just relaxing your hands and opening your eyes whenever you're ready. So welcome everyone. Just in case you don't know who we are, which you might not. I'm Sam, and Leela's the other person in the other screen. It's lovely to be here this evening. We would, before we do anything else, and whenever we come into circle together, it's really lovely for us to bring our names into the space, because this just helps with the intention of the space. And so I would love to invite you to go around and just share with everyone if it feels okay for you this evening. And I appreciate some of you are busy, so it might not be possible, and you can just write something in the notes if you don't feel that you want to share verbally on the call. That's totally fine. And I don't think the notes appear in the recording either, do they?
No, I can leave them out.
So therefore, if you don't want to be featured, then that will be fine. And just share with us your name, maybe where you are, and maybe what came to you, what your higher self said that you're looking for this evening. That would be lovely. So who would like to start? I'll just go, and it's a bit tricky on here, but I might just invite us to go in the order that is from my computer. So I wonder, Kate, are you up to sharing? Yeah, thank you.
Just have to unmute myself. You can hear me now? Hi everyone, I'm Kate. The word that came to me was awareness tonight. I'm full of intrigue, so I really just want to feel the connection and learn some more about whether or not this is a something that I've got a calling for. Start now, everyone.
Now, thank you, Kate. Amy, you're next on my screen. Would you be happy to share?
Hi, I'm Amy. I am actually new to the Brisbane area. I've not long moved to Margate near Redcliffe, which is just beautiful. And I love Kundalini and I love meditation, and even that short amount of time was enough for me to be able to sink in and connect with that. For me right now, my journey is all about finding the right space, I think the right energy and the right people. And I think even just in that short amount of time, this community has that.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Sana.
Catherine, you're next on my. Are you happy to share?
Hi everyone, my name's Catherine. I'm from Brisbane. I am a yoga teacher. I've only been teaching for about a year now, and I seem to have fallen into a bit of a niche already, really focusing around women's well-being, around pregnancy, postnatal. I'm a mum of two, so I've got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I really feel a strong calling towards supporting and nurturing mothers during that transition time for them. It was a time in my life that was the most awakening, I guess, that you can experience. And I want to learn more about that for myself personally, and so that I can take it into my classes and share that with other women.
Beautiful calling. Thank you so much for sharing, Satnam.
Satnam.
Caroline, lovely.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. I'm also from Brisbane. The word that came to me tonight was learning. I'm always learning, I think. But a few years ago, Kundalini Yoga and meditation in general came to me at a time when I really, really needed it. And since then, I've just been hooked. And so that's why I'm here. I'm actually really hoping that I can, in the future, work in this space with women, supporting women. I'm also studying counselling. So it's quite a journey that I've embarked on. So I'm very excited to be joining the group next year. Thank you, Satnam.
Thank you, Caroline. It's lovely to have you here. Janice.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm already doing the 13 moons this year, but I just wanted to find out a bit more about what you guys are planning for next year. And yeah, that's it. I'm in Brisbane as well.
Thank you, Janice. Satnam. Chrissy.
Hi, yes, I did unmute. Hi. I'm also from Brisbane. I am on the north side, Marumba Downs, so not too far from Sanford, really. I teach yoga. I teach a couple of other classes as well, and breathwork has been a big journey for me over the last 12 months. And I've skirted around Kundalini for a long time, the training, looked at it, I kind of stepped in, gone, oh, it's a big commitment, it's a big commitment, but I really love it. And a yoga student actually had gone off to a Kundalini meditation a couple of weeks ago, and she said, oh, you should go, you'd love this. And it was run by someone who I think has trained with both of you, and kind of, for me, it's like following the energy. It's like, oh, that sounds cool, let's have a look. Sanford, that's close. Saturdays, I can do that. It's like kind of fits in. So I started running a few one-day retreats last year. I teach mostly vinyasa, restorative, little bit of yin. But women need, like when we would sit in circle at the end, it was like, we need this. Like it just became, particularly with the COVID that whole, our nervous systems are shot, basically. So I would love to have a deeper understanding of the meditations, the kriyas, the mudras, the chanting. The word that came to me this evening was peace. So even though I wasn't present for the whole meditation, I just had this spiraling up of peace. So I feel like I'm in the right place. So excited to have found a lovely group. When things fall into place for me, it's like, it's like that alignment when it's doable, because I'm a single mum as well. So it has to fit in with my lifestyle at the moment. So yeah, that's me. Satnam.
Satnam, thank you so much.
I've got two hands, but there you go. Two hands on my phone.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Satnam. Mabby.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mabby. I'm from Brisbane. Well, I had a Kundalini Awakening a couple of years ago when I was doing meditation, and until that point, I had no idea about what is Kundalini. And I realized that this is my calling. I planned to do the Kundalini training this year, but it had a clash with my yoga teacher training, and I couldn't do it this year. And then my friend Anita attended in your course, in this year course, and she highly recommended. So I just wanted to pop in and see, get some information, and hopefully I can sign up for next year.
Lovely to have you there, Mabby.
Thank you.
Satnam.
Satnam.
Tracy, are you available to talk, or are you busy with little?
Yes. The main reason I don't have my video on is that my internet is really poor where I am, and will just be will work better without the video. So hello everyone, my name is Tracy. I am an intuitive healer, and I'm looking tonight to, the word that came to me was clarity, and which fits in really well. I'm just hoping to be able to work out if this course will complement what I'm already offering. My business is called Holding Space for Souls, and I do believe that it will. I feel it will, and I just want to sort of just get some more information to see if it will all fit together.
Thank you. Lovely to have you.
No.
And I'm not sure who the last person is on my screen. There's someone with an iPhone. Do you know who it is, Lena? No.
Oh, hi Sam, that's me, it's Anita. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, I can. Anita, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hello Anita. Hi.
Hello. I'm not very tech savvy, which is why mine says iPhone instead of my name. So apologies, everyone. I'm in Brisbane, in Ferny Hills, and my feeling tonight was embrace, and that is certainly how I feel when I practice with Sam most mornings, with our sadhana, and I just want to be a little more experienced in embracing other people. So yeah, that's why I am hoping to also join. That's all. Thank you.
We lost you there at the end, actually, Anita. Did you?
Oh, yeah. I think it's probably a bit the same in terms of internet, but yeah, thank you.
Oh, Satnam, Anita, lovely to have you here. Oh, thank you. Leela, do you want to say something?
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Leela. It's lovely to see some new faces and to see some familiar faces, and it's really wonderful to be with you on this Wednesday evening. My intention to be here with you all tonight is to create that space where you can understand a little bit more about Sam and I coming together and uniting our passion and vision for being with women and celebrating women and helping women on the healing journey, and to bring some clarity around how we do that in the 13 moons, but also to bring in I guess the sense that it's also a celebration of women. So whilst many of us are we're always healing, you know, the healing journey doesn't really ever end, and there comes a point where we transition into a realization that life is a celebration, and along that way, you know, we'll have our good days and our bad days, but as long as you've got your women with you, everything will be just fine. And that's really the essence of the space that Sam and I try to cultivate every time we come together and hold that space for you. So yeah, that's me this evening. My children are very well behaved. Not too sure what's happened, but they've managed to find some peace out there. So hopefully I'll be uninterrupted for the next half an hour. Satnam.
Yes, and yeah, my intention really in being here this evening is just that, you know, that honest sharing of the work that I do and the work that we do, and the way in which I believe sharing these teachings, sharing these philosophies, sharing the meditations, the pranayamas, the rituals, the way that I have already witnessed and continue to witness that this can support people in a ripple effect, and how wonderful it is to be able to see that in action. And so when I think about what it is that, you know, we're so blessed to do, I'm so blessed to do on a daily basis in teaching, it is that continual journey of healing and growth that comes from holding that space. We definitely, you know, in Kundalini Yoga, we believe that if you want to master something, you teach it. And I believe that wholeheartedly, because I've been teaching now for maybe like 15 years or so, maybe longer. And I'm still having these sort of moments where I'm like, whoa, I've been saying it, but it hadn't actually landed. And it's through the teaching or through the holding space and sadhana that I get these absolute powerful moments where something just lands fully for me. And that comes through that interpretation that I have of the teachings and that sharing. And what I notice is that as we share these teachings with you, you will have your own unique journey of that evolution of these teachings. And that's what I love the most. One of the things that I love about teaching Kundalini Yoga is that it really works. It works for me, and I have a lot going on in my head. So, you know, for me, the concept of just sitting down and dropping into meditation is kind of like the idea of torture. It's not something that is natural to me. It wasn't natural to me, but over these years of cultivating a Kundalini practice, I've managed to find stillness that I didn't ever think was possible in my mind and in my body. And I've done a lot of different types of yoga. I can teach a lot of different types of yoga, but I predominantly teach Kundalini Yoga. And that's why, because this really works. But as I've evolved through my journey, one of the things that has struck me more and more is that every time I've done a course, or I've been sort of taken myself on a deeper dive into the women's teachings, into the place of conscious pregnancy, into the space of looking at how these teachings can support and help women in their life, that's when I've had the greatest shifts and the greatest awakenings in myself. Because I'm a woman, and that's how I relate in this lifetime. And so predominantly I understand how it is for most of the women that seem to navigate their way into my space. And normally, because I do wear my heart a lot on my sleeve, that openness allows me to communicate in a way that becomes very relatable. And lots of people seem to be, in my experience, going through the same thing. We just tend to be sort of hiding behind the mask that we've been have had these masks placed on us. And so the journey of this training and the journey of this individual awakening that you go through when you join us on the 13 moons and on the conscious pregnancy, if you're doing the subtle awakening on that retreat as well, is the journey of the removing of those masks to come back to that true essence of self. And I believe that that's an incredibly powerful thing to do. And it is an ever-evolving journey, but I'm also blessed to note that after so many years of practice, I can see a difference in the way that I am now significantly to the way that I was when I first began back in my early 30s. So yeah, it's a journey, and I love that journey. So that's why we do what we do. One of the things that has really struck me is why are we doing it this way? Why are we teaching Kundalini Yoga this way? So some of you are here because you're interested in doing the subtle awakening, which is Leela and my interpretation, as it were, of Kundalini teacher training in a whole different format. And the reason we're doing it this way is because we actually want to teach you how to use this technology, which is what we call Kundalini Yoga, but really this system of yoga in a way that best serves women. Because it's quite easy to use this yoga in a very yin masculine way, which can sometimes actually not be as easily met for women. But when learnt in the way that we are wanting to share it, or we do share it, it helps you to actually really hold this space in a very feminine way. Because women will all have gone through certain transitions as they go through life. You will have all gone through puberty. You will have all entered into a journey of whether it's birthing children or birthing business or birthing, whatever it is that you have birthed in this lifetime, because there will be many things. You will have gone through some form of transition like this, and you will all continue on through that transition into these later years of life. And so in that evolution, there is a whole amazing spectrum of teachings that can support you and that you can use to support all those women that you find yourself being drawn to you. And that's how we want to be able to share this. So for me, I feel that the way we're putting this together, which is different to normal teacher trainings, helps you to have a full embodied experience of a teacher training, much like we used to do teacher trainings, where we used to actually take time to sit with a teacher and study and learn and allow the teachings to kind of permeate through us as we evolve and learn. And I believe that's a pretty awesome way of learning something like this. So that's one of the things I feel incredibly strongly about. I think that to break down what we're doing, and Leela, just jump in or maybe unmute and just jump in whenever you want, but to break down what we do, the main sort of ongoing course that we run throughout the year is the 13 moons. So many of you will have heard about this or will be on this, like Janice. And on this journey through the 13 moons, this is the journey of meditation and healing. So yes, on this training, we take you through the journey of becoming a Reiki healer, but we also take you through the journey of becoming something called a subtle body healer. And that is really the Kundalini Yoga equivalent of healing. And it comes from a place of deep shunya, of finding a deep sense of stillness within you that you can only find by cultivating a meditative mind. So the 13 moons, the 13 times that we come together, we help you to cultivate that. We show you different tools, different techniques, different types of meditations, different ways of healing, of holding space for other women that help you to find a stillness and peace within you that you are then able to offer in the space of holding it for another. So we never assume to be able to heal another. We only ever assume to heal ourselves. And it's in the ultimate healing of ourselves, or holding ourselves in a state of shunya, of stillness, of that neutral mind, that the other is able to find peace. And so, as Chrissy was saying earlier, right now, the real pandemic that we're having in our world is that everyone's nervous system is completely frazzled and fried. And a lot of the things that women are struggling with, which most of you will have heard of in your different fields, but a lot of the immune system problems, a lot of the problems with our digestive systems, with our reproductive organs, anything to do with these areas within our body is relatable to our nervous system. And if we as women can help other women to come into wellness, then actually there's some amazing stuff that we can do once we get there. That's what really excites me. Because if we're not trying to just be well anymore, we can actually start to do some of the stuff that our powerful minds can do. So we can actually move on to upgrading our capacity to work in a telepathic way, in a psychic way. And this is the thing, we're so caught up in the Maya that we're not able to go on and do these things. So one of the reasons we wanted to do the subtle awakening is because it means that we can take you on to that stage. We're hoping that you can get to a point where you do feel that your nervous system is healed and you're ready to start working deeper in these meditative spaces, which we can do when we come together for a long retreat, which is why we want to do that, so that we can do some of these really powerful practices and experience a whole different way of being, existing. Really, it's just, about that cultivating, living in a higher vibration. And so that's part of our plan. And of course, the 10 moons, the conscious pregnancy, this is the journey where we teach you most of our rituals. During this course, you will learn most of the rituals that will support a woman on every stage of her journey. And these are rituals that can be used for pregnant women, for women going on fertility journeys, and then also just for women who need to be held in a way that they haven't been held before. So learning to carry out or perform or hold space in this ritualistic manner is very important during the 10 moons. On top of that, we go through everything that you need in order to be a conscious pregnancy teacher and to support women at every stage through pregnancy. That goes from fertility through to after birth, where you would also train to be a postnatal doula. The beauty of being a postnatal doula is, as a teacher, you really are a doula for all women because you're holding space for women in some capacity. So the understanding of being in service to another woman is really powerful. And the understanding of how to do that in a neutral way without, stepping on another's toes during such an important stage of their life is helpful in many stages of life that we find ourselves in. So I feel that the 10 moons, whilst incredibly powerful as a journey towards you being able to support pregnant women or women on a fertility journey or women postnatally, because we cover that quite significantly, and those early years with children. It helps in holding space for all women. Did you want to say something, Leila?
Yeah, I'll just add on to that, Sam. Part of our, I guess, core philosophy with what Sam and I are doing is the recognition that, you know, we don't need to be holding massive communities to make an impact. You don't need to be wanting to do these trainings to go and, you know, start a yoga studio. You could just be yourself, wanting to learn for yourself. And even in that, the power of what you will learn and what you embody and what you get to heal through and what you get to experience in these teachings and on this training gives you a radiance and a stillness and a presence that is so profound that you will impact your family in such a positive way. You will impact your immediate community that you're a part of in such a positive way. And the communities that we live in will benefit from the experience that you've had from going through this journey. And it's at that core grassroots sort of cornerstone fundamental level of our communities that we know we're going to start to see that change that we also desperately want to see. You know, it's my personal hope and dream that someone that does the 13 Moons training goes on to become the Prime Minister of Australia. Like, that's what I really and if I keep saying it, it's going to happen. But this is what we know to be true of these teachings. This is if we can start to shift the way that we that we move through the feminine journey ourselves, then whatever you choose to go on to do with that is going to have such a profound ripple effect on the fabric of our society. And that's really important well, it's really important to us. Also, just on the 10 Moons training, because some of you may ask this question, we'll get to some questions in just a sec. But whilst it seems to be like it is a pregnancy training, many of you will go on to hold communities or to hold a yoga community or a meditation community, or Caroline with a counseling business. Now, whilst you may not be really in the space right now, perhaps to want to take on pregnancy or the fertility journey, just in the experience of you holding a community, you're going to see every facet of woman. And so that you don't have to send a woman in your community somewhere else for that healing or for that support or for that help, you're going to be trained to hold the full caliber of what the womanhood journey is from a yogic and a meditative perspective. And that's very, very special, because from a business point of view, it means that you've got such a solid foundation for what you're offering, is that it will be quite rare for you to have to refer her off to somebody else. Like, what a gift to know that your student who comes, you know, just looking for meditation finds everything that she's going to need for her whole life. Like, that's very powerful. And that's what we're integrating, what we've integrated into these trainings, so that you can start to generate those really all-encompassing self-sufficient communities, because one, we need that, and two, it's very good from a business perspective. Yeah.
And that's really importantly as well, which we haven't said, and I don't know if it's written down anywhere, but we do as well, once you get to a certain stage in the 13 Moons program, we do start business mentoring calls as well. So we work with you once you reach, it's actually after you take your second Reiki attunement, we then start to encourage you to start working. That sounds a lot more pressure than it actually is, because we all enjoy what we do. It doesn't really feel like work, but actually start to build your communities. And so we hold these monthly business calls, really, which sounds a little bit a bit not quite as helpful as it might, but it's they're really brilliant. So they help you to just start to plan how you're going to move forward, because we actually want that to happen. We're not just teaching you this and then going, okay, thank you so much, good luck. We actually want to see you getting out there and succeeding in what you're doing, because that's really one of our big goals, is to have as many women as possible doing these, holding these circles, holding these spaces, holding these classes in the way that serves you and supports you as well. And the other thing I wanted to say is exactly as Leela said, we had such a great mix on the last 10 moons. We had a woman who came to do it because she just wanted to be able to know how to support her daughter when her daughter had children. And then, we had another woman who was pregnant and was ready and wanted to do the course so that she could support herself. So, thinking about the different types of women, it was really vast in that. And it's exactly the same on the 13 moons. We have people who are there just to come and have a retreat each month, and other women who are already out there, like Janice actually, and about to be, holding meditation classes in the next few weeks. So it's a super exciting community, and it's actually a very beautiful space to be in each month. So I just realized I know I could talk forever, so I won't. But questions? Does anyone have any questions that we haven't answered, or things that they're just like, I really need to know this?
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes, Mabby.
I did a Reiki training around like 12 years ago. I just wanted to know that can I have this like attunement again? Is that okay? Because I did level 1 and level 2, but I haven't done level 3 because I moved to Australia. So just wanted to double check if I can do the attunement again.
Absolutely. And it's actually really powerful to receive your attunements again, especially if you had them a while ago.
Yeah.
And the way in which we do the attunements is quite different to how you probably received it before. They're certainly different to the way I received my attunements back in England a long time. So we carry them out in the same tradition, but we also have incorporated Kundalini rituals to support that process. It's a lot more meditative, and it's really powerful. So actually, we have found that the women that have previously had Reiki attunements have felt, they actually feel that now this has landed with them. They feel that they've experienced something a lot deeper from having this experience of the sort of circle attunement that we do. So yeah, it's absolutely fine. And there's a number of women. There's one lady I can think of particularly who I think has had 3 attunements or something. But anyway, she was like really suddenly, now she's just started doing Reiki. So it's taken this to actually help her to get to that point. But I also just think it's beautiful for us to do it. It's beautiful for you to receive it. So
and it also makes up part of the meditation teacher training as well, and part of the meditation hours. And so yeah, and then when you go on, if you choose to go on to become a Reiki master in the 13 moon tradition, those rituals, the way that we deliver the Reiki rituals, become your guidebook for how you could go on to lead and to teach Reiki.
Awesome. I just also wanted to ask about the I'm planning to travel home around March, April, and depending on all this restriction. So if my travel go ahead, I wouldn't be able to attend the first 2 sessions, which are in, are we starting on March or April? Is it March or April? We start
March. Yeah.
March.
Oh yeah, I'll have to double check. But that's okay.
So, so just wanted to know, is that okay if I miss like the couple of sessions?
Yes.
We start in April.
April, okay. So my plan is I go March and come back early May. So based on the calendar I check on the website, I would miss 2 sessions which is a shame because they are the first 2 sessions. So I really wanted to be, but
So
that's the only time I can travel.
Yeah, so the first session that we run in the training, in the 13 Moons Healers training, is the Reiki 1 attunement. So if you are already attuned to your Reiki 1, that is okay. You can miss that, and that is okay. Obviously, it'd be disappointing that you're not there. But in saying that, you're more than welcome to come back to the following year's retreat and sit that Reiki 1 ceremony the following year to get that experience. So that's completely fine. The second retreat is a meditation retreat, and that will be the introduction to Kundalini meditations, and it will be recorded and loaded online to an online learning portal. So all of our retreats are recorded and loaded online, except for the Reiki retreats. The Reiki retreats don't go online, but everything else will be available for you to sit.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
What was that? What do you?
Only that unless you're an online student, and then the attunement would be done online.
It's
It's not that you would miss it if you were an online student. You would still receive it as an online student. It's just that we don't record the actual attunement and then just post that in there. So we just keep it a sacred ritual. So are you just thinking of doing the 13 moons or the whole subtle, just the 13 moons? Okay, because I was going to say that the 10 moons starts earlier than that, but that's okay. Yeah.
No, 13. Thank you.
Thank you, Mabby. Did anyone else have any questions? Satnam, Mabby. Yes, Chrissy.
Okay, so there's 13 moons training, but there's also, so is that part of the subtle? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically the subtle body, the subtle
awakening.
Thank you. Subtle body awakening is our term for the whole Kundalini teacher training. And that incorporates the 10 moons, which is the conscious pregnancy training, a retreat that we hold in July, which is 6 days, which is 6 days here in Sanford, which you can either stay close by or you can go home and then come back each day. And then also the 13 retreats that we hold for the 13 moons. So that whole thing makes up the hours for the actual Kundalini teacher training. If you want to be a Kundalini Yoga teacher, the 13 moons on its own, 13 moons on its own will just work with you as a Kundalini meditation teacher and a healer, but it doesn't qualify you as a Kundalini yoga teacher, because we don't cover posture and kriya, those other things on the meditation training. We just cover the meditation and all things to do with the meditation.
Okay, and it starts at this, so it's still, is it one full day? Like, I'll have to have a look at the website. Is it?
What are you?
So so the whole subtle. So 13 moons I've looked at is one Saturday a month or thereabouts. So how does it fit in? What are the extra days for the whole lot? Because that sounds exciting.
Yes, the 10 moons of conscious pregnancy is basically run over 2 weekends, and they start in February. So we do a weekend, 3 days in February, the beginning of February, and then 3 days at the beginning of March. So they begin before 13 moons. You can either do them at the beginning like that, or if that doesn't work for you, you can tag it on at the end and do 2023, if that makes sense.
Does.
Then in July, we then have a retreat here in Sanford, which is a 6-day retreat and runs from the 18th of July through to the 23rd. And that is like from 5 in the morning until 5 or 6 in the evening. So it's long days, but you can go home in the evening or you can find a B&B. And I appreciate as a single parent, there would have to be some considerations there. So, but that again, you couldn't make that happen this year. You could do that in 2023. So we're not saying you have to do it all in that window of the 30 moons, which is the 13 retreats every month. You just need to do all 3 of those aspects in order to complete that training.
Wow. Okay, that's really cool. Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. Yeah.
Did anyone else have any questions?
That was easy.
Janice, do you want to share anything about your experience of 13 moons? Do you feel you could? I mean, you know, don't do it if it's not positive. But.
It's terrible. No, it's amazing. It's so beautiful to be able to come back to the same group of women every month. And like, I was chatting with a couple of people the other day, and we were like, "Oh, it feels like so long since we've seen each other. It hasn't even been a month." But yeah, it's just really beautiful to go through the journey with the group of women, and also, as Sam said, it's sitting with a teacher. Where previous, like other yoga teacher trainings I've done, you go and do an intensive block, then you've got to do all this online stuff, and that's sort of it. Then you're on your own. So yeah, everything's fantastic. I've set up my own meditation classes, which are actually starting to really fill up, so it's terrifying me. But yeah, I did that because of you guys giving me that little push that I needed.
It's really good.
That's so exciting. Well done, Janice.
That's amazing. Thanks, Janice. Yeah. Nothing else? Anyone else want anything or have any questions? Catherine or Amy?
Kate.
I have a curiosity.
Oh. Yes, Kate. Sorry.
Curiosity. So I'm just thinking about you've got the 13 moons and you've got the 10 moons, and then you've got the retreat. That then culminates it all as being the subtle awakening. Now, what if you were to do, or is it possible to do the retreat and the 13 moons, but not the 10 moons? Would that then not qualify you as a Kundalini yoga teacher? So is 10 moons that gets you over the line with the Kundalini yoga?
Yes, because it's the accumulation of learning, the posture, the kriya, and we do anatomy and things like that during that as well. So it's really, as much as it's about pregnancy, it's also about the female body and the way of teaching for the female. So it teaches you to be a conscious pregnancy teacher, but it also teaches you to be a woman's yoga teacher. We are also going to be bringing in next year, or soon, won't be before next year, but we will be doing another add-on, which is a menopause course. So it's a course to support women through menopause and rituals to support that journey. So, the problem is just making sure that the hours are correct to see if that's it. So if you are more interested, you might be able to do the menopause aspect rather than the conscious pregnancy. But personally, the healing that is received by going through the rituals of the conscious pregnancy is quite profound, because there's so much healing that we as women have to do around this journey of being a woman. And so a lot of the women just find that in itself is part of the powerful healing journey that they receive in the studies.
And in the 10 moons training, Kate, it's where, we do practice a lot of holding space and holding circle and holding yoga space and holding women's circles, and we take you through a lot of kriyas that are so beautiful for women, that can be used for women that are pregnant, but are just for women. end of story. And so we cover a lot of that in the 10 moons. It's also, like Sam was saying, that the personal healing you get from doing that training, this is where we get into the healing of the generational karma. And so, you know, where we talk about you healing the 7 generations that come of you and after you, and the 7 generations that have come before you, just your work and experience in that space gets into healing that generational karma, which is just such a profound gift for yourself and for those that, you know, are of you and around you.
It really does sound very beautiful.
Yeah.
I think I'm more nervous than anything. It's been such a long time since I've done birth, and I haven't really thought of myself as a birthing kind of person, you know.
No.
It's never really been my thing.
That's okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I do like it. Sounds very nice.
Yeah. Oh, look at that cat, Amy. That's beautiful cat here. Catherine, sorry, you had a question too.
I just wanted to ask, how many were in the last group, and how many would you be expecting in this one for the 10 moons? And is this the second time you've run it? Like, how long has it been kind of been run for?
This is the second. This is the second training of the 30 moons and the conscious pregnancy that we've done. Yes, in this format. And I don't. How many women were on there?
So on our first 10 moons training, there were 6 women, and it was such a beautiful, intimate space. We with the 10 moons, we don't want to, you know, max that out, because it's really important that it's held in a really safe, closed or intimate container, so that every woman has a chance to share and to experience what it's like to be held in an intimate circle environment. So the 10 moons training isn't designed to be, you know, a massive training in that capacity.
Sounds amazing, and I feel really called to do it. And I think it is, like, there couldn't be a more perfect course to do right now, which will align with like where I've fallen into and what my clients are asking for. Like, I'm in the south of Brisbane, and they just seem to be like knocking on my door asking for more meditation, mindfulness, circles, just the spiritual side of yoga. So I'm going to deliver it.
Yay. Awesome. That's it. Yeah, that's so great to hear, Catherine. You're welcome.
The 13 moons training is a larger training, because the spaces that we go for that can hold larger women, and actually it's quite good to do that from a healing point of view, because we get to work on lots of different people. So yeah, that they are they were last year larger trainings. We don't know yet how that.
Yeah, we had 50 enroll. We had 50 enroll in the 13 moons training, and that's across Brisbane and the Gold Coast. So that's why we have one retreat occurs in Brisbane to hold about 25 women in Brisbane, and the second retreat happens up here on Tambourine Mountain to hold about 25 women from the Gold Coast. So we're anticipating that for the 13 moons healers training next year, it will be about the same.
Did you have any other questions, Amy?
No, I don't have any other questions. I just was curious to listen, and I think, like, logistically, sometimes I might not have a car and things, which would be painful, but I'm sure we can figure that out. And just, what would again, I'm supposed to be going overseas, but who knows if that would happen. And just really getting a feel for it is really why I'm here. But it just sounds beautiful. Yeah,
thank you. We are endeavouring to make everything available online, just so that we can cover every eventuality that might occur next year. And we we sort of did that this year, but in a different format. And now that we've really found this new format, which we use an online platform, it'll be much easier for us to do that and to deliver that in that way. So we're going to make that hopefully really work this year. That's the plan. So I think whatever happens, and we've practiced a bit and done, quite a lot these last few months. So I'm quite hopeful about that. And everyone's a lot more used to doing online stuff. It's not ideal. It's tricky with the work we do. But if it's unavoidable, then, we make it work. And the bottom line is we're here to support you in making that work the best that we can. Yay, great.
One more question, sorry.
Yes, okay.
Just say you sign up for 13 moons and then partway through that, or you get to the end of that, you're like, I actually would love to do the whole subtle awakening. Is that an option to then do it? I know you said you could do it the following year, but to like do another payment, and is that something that doable?
Absolutely.
Or
yeah, so you can always join on to the next training, and it's like Sam, I think Sam, you said this, to qualify as a Kundalini yoga teacher in the 13 moons tradition, you just would need to complete those 3 trainings. But
I'm just working on payments. I'm just looking at payments going, with that.
It's so at the moment, to if you were to join up for the whole subtle awakening, it's obviously going to work out to be a little bit cheaper than if you were to do training by training by training. That's the only sort of difference, is if you didn't join up all at once, then it just is it's not that much more expensive. I think it's just a difference of a couple of $100. So
Okay. All right.
But we can look at that.
Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay. It's come to that time of night where Amy's cat looks like it wants a lot of attention.
Yeah, he's biting me because it's dessert time, and he's like, why haven't we had dessert, and why aren't we sitting on the lounge? He's getting cranky.
That's so funny.
I love that. That's so brilliant.
Yeah. Big personality, this cat.
Oh, that's amazing. You can see that. I can see that through the Zoom call. That's amazing. Anyone else? Anything else? It was so lovely to have you here. So nice to see you, Kate. So nice to meet you, Chrissy. So nice to have you here, Caroline. There's a Chrissy's just put a question in the box. Oh, okay. And Amy, lovely to meet you. Mabby, lovely to see you here. And Anita. Oh, Anita, did you have any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Did you have any other questions, Anita?
No, I'm good, thank you. Thank you. Satnam.
Satnam. You can always reach out online after a morning if you want to. Lots of love, Anita. Let's just close our beautiful space. And if you do have anything that you want to ask, then please feel free just to stay on after we've closed. But we'll close. Everyone can head off if they'd like to. So just bringing the thumbs into your sternum. Just taking a moment just to find gratitude for this space we found together this evening. And we'll close by saying, if you know the words, the long time sun prayer, and then chanting the mantra Sat Nam. This mantra Sat Nam just means truth is my identity. It connects us to that divine truth within us and honors the divine truth in each other. You can either join in or just let the sound current wash over you. We take a long, deep breath in to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Sat Nam. Raising the hand to the third eye, may your wisdom, your light always guide you. To your lips, may your truth, your honesty always guide you. And to your heart, may your love, your compassion always guide you. And bowing down deeply to your higher self, Satnam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you,
Lily.
ladies.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Layla.
Thank you, Nabi.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
Speak
Have a
Thank
lovely night, guys.
Thank you.
Sleep well, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.